Winning the lottery seems like the best thing that could ever happen to some of us. However, as much as it is a blessing, it could also be a curse if you fail to manage the money and use them wisely. History shows that not all people who have hit a jackpot were aware that money is easily spent, and often have ended up even poorer than they were prior to winning the life-changing prize. Obviously, such examples sometimes make us cry, but more often, they make us laugh at people's stupidity. Here is a list of top 10 most stupid lottery winners who lost all their money. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Michael Carroll. Michael Carroll is a disgraced lottery jackpot winner who won £9.7 million in 2002 at the tender age of 19. Carroll didn't have the best ideas when it comes to spending or investing the money. He blew most of it on cocaine. To solidify his rich man status, Carroll snorted the cocaine using a solid gold pen. It was obvious that the money would be over sooner than later. Apart from buying a mansion, Carroll was known for a couple of other wasteful purchases and for paying prostitutes for their services quite often. Carroll splurged his cash on hookers, a backdoor racetrack, and sank into a 2,000-pound-a-day coke habit. By 2012, Michael had managed to lose all of the millions. Carroll was jailed for 5 months for drug offenses in 2004 and later moved to Scotland after hitting rock bottom. He went on to feature in TV docs about his fantastic fall from a fortune. Today, Michael Carroll works at a cookie factory in Scotland. He says that he's happy, regardless of the fact that his weekly salary is £204. Number 2. Evelyn Adams. There are those people that just have it in them. Evelyn Adams won the lottery on 2 separate occasions back-to-back in the same years. She can be considered as one of the luckiest people on the planet. Some people never win the lottery. She won twice. The first time she won was in 1985, and the second time was in 1986. In total, she won over $5.4 million. However, she had to go the extra mile and test her fortune once again. Here comes the punchline. She lost it all, just like you probably guessed. She was a greedy, compulsive gambler that managed to waste over $5 million. 20 years later, she's broke. The lavish lifestyle living in Atlantic City and Las Vegas solely for the purpose to gamble can't end well. We know that the casino always wins, but it isn't every day that they win everything back this big. She had to be on our top 10 stupid lottery winners list. The New Jersey native won a cool $5.4 million, but AskMen.com reports she gambled it away at Atlantic City. Today, she resides in a trailer park. Number 3. Justin Ryder. By now, you are probably to expect the worst. We know that money does change people. It can change them so much that it has to reach the final step. Justin Ryder, who lived in Alberta, Canada, won about $600,000. He didn't seem like much of a stable guy to begin with, but nobody expected that he can do something so stupid that will eventually kill him. The facts are as follows. Justin had his fixation with the movie called Goldmember. It's a parody of the movie called Goldfinger with James Bond. He had the idea to replicate the actions of the villain, who happened to color the man's parts in gold. Before he did the unthinkable, he painted his intimate parts with lead-based paint. It just didn't feel right, so he went the extra mile by actually painting the area with gold. Not long after the procedure, he passed away. Doctors say that the cause of death was the lead-based paint. We just want to ask, why, Justin? Number 4. Callie Rogers. They can actually win, and when they do, they can't get a hold on them. It rarely ends well if they're left on their own. Callie Rogers from the UK went through a real tough period after she won more than $3 million. Following the expected partying and living the fun life, with a lot of drugs and alcohol involved, she did make a couple of plastic surgeries. She bought tons of gifts for her friends and family. the usual spending spree, so to speak. Fast forward 10 years, she has a little over $3,000 on her bank account. She's training to be a nurse and she has 3 children. How can you spend $3 million on nothing? Besides the cosmetics she did to her body, she's nothing left but the good memories when she was younger. Number 5. Amanda Clayton. She became a millionaire after winning the state lottery Make Me Rich. To be honest, she doesn't deserve much of your time. She won $1 million and she continued to take her food stamps. Why would anyone do that? Isn't $1 million enough? It's not the Powerball jackpot, but it is still more than enough not to take food stamps and live on welfare. She was found guilty of charges for welfare fraud. Her sentence was 9 months of probation and a $5,500 fine. In the end, she died of a drug overdose. You be the judge if she deserves to take the first on our top 5 stupid lottery winners. Number 6. Alex Ahso. Alex Ahso won approximately $500,000, and he used most of the money to fund his NGO, which was into supporting sexually abused victims. Everything was fine for a couple of years. The NGO was very active, people were aided, and he was a lifesaver. Not long after that, the word was out that Alex was a sex offender himself on 2 occasions. Back in 1993 and in 2000, he molested 2 girls under the age of 13. Shortly after the word was out in the public, he was encountered by few men who caused him severe injuries by hitting him on his head with a steel pipe. He previously did his time in jail, but why do you need to get the attention of the public by funding an NGO that serves the purpose to heal the victims of your crimes? Maybe because he wanted some redemption. It's too late for him for all I know. Number 7. Ross Jr. In 2012, John Ross Jr. won $70,000 per year for a period of 20 years from a California lottery scratch ticket. When interviewed after the win was announced, John said he was going to use the money for the purchase of a car. The young man had never owned a car before, and he wanted to fulfill a dream. Everything sounds normal so far, but things went beyond expectations soon after. Eventually, John was arrested for the attempted theft of a Honda Civic. Ironically, John had to use some of the money that he won from the lottery to bail himself out of jail. It can hardly ever get more stupid than that. Number 8. Willie Hurt. Willie Hurt was a happy family man with a good reputation in his community. In 1989, his life changed forever after he won a $3.1 million jackpot in the Michigan lottery. The change was everything but good. The money basically ruined Hurt's life, who instead of investing in his and his children's future, decided to spend it on crack and a messy divorce. Hurt lost his wife, custody of his children, and he was even charged with attempted murder. Many believe that the first mistake he did after hitting the lottery was his decision to receive the prize money in an annual payment of $156,000 instead of taking the lump sum. Possibly, if he had gotten and invested the whole amount rather than simply spending away from the payments, things would have unraveled differently. Either way, Hurt remains one of the stupidest as well as saddest examples of how money is not always the answer. Number 9. Jonathan Vargas. Hurt managed to ruin his life with only $3 million. Imagine what $35.3 million did to a 19-year-old Jonathan Vargas from Florida. The teenager hit the Powerball back in 2008 and completely failed to recognize the potential the money had by investing them in the weirdest project a person can think of. Vargas decided to partner with Jimmy Hart to start an all-female wrestling league under the name Wrestlicious. Even though he always had a passion for pro wrestling, he should have known that the project is unlikely to attract the expected attention. After Wrestlicious failed, Vargas made several other bad investments and faced big losses that resulted in him being broke. We hope that at least he enjoyed that short period of being a millionaire, and if his luck visits him again, he won't do the same mistake as the first time. Number 10. Edamay Irkhart. Edamay Irkhart was playing the lottery for 18 years when she won the Mega Millions jackpot of breathtaking $51 million. However, according to her statements, In order to avoid pressure from family members and media attention, she decided to give the winning ticket to her son, Ronnie Orinder. Even though he promised to take care of his 76-year-old mother and his 79-year-old stepfather, the son went on a spending spree, ignoring his mother's wishes. After Orinder had bought 4 homes and 10 cars, Etta decided that her son needs to be stopped and filed a lawsuit against him. The judge froze his assets, and almost a year after the lawsuit was filed, the two parties managed to reach a settlement. The terms of the agreement weren't disclosed, but whatever the case is, it's obvious that Irkhart lost a huge amount of her winnings due to poor judgment. That is our list of 10 most stupid lottery winners. What would you do if you win a huge lottery? Tell us in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.